It's okay. We're okay.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Are you all right, Austin?
Wolcott.
Oh, I'm sorry, Captain Wolcott.
Little bird's luring him to traps. That's what he's doing. Where's Little Bird? Is Little Bird here?
They are.
Little Bird, your wings are going to be clipped soon. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Austin. Oh, Austin. I'm sorry, Wolcott.
Oh, it
Things you
seems that
don't
people of
know.
Connor have scored the effect.
Played them all for fools.
No,
Maybe
you
not.
did.
Perhaps.
We're nearly at the time. We will begin soon.
Yes, Captain.
I will make the first thing clear. There will be no weapons brandished, no armor be worn during this. Understood?
Understood.
I will check to see if there's anyone else climbing the water. There it is. Before we begin, is there any questions while we wait? Any of the rules and such I will be explaining, so questions pertaining to those will not be required. But any other questions, I may answer. If they're not required, I will not. Anyone wish to ask any? Interesting. Well, we are on the time. So I will explain the rules of the proceedings. Everyone will be quiet while I am speaking. Understood?
Understood.
That includes giggling, Wolcott. This will proceed in the terms of a Fey court. It will proceed, there will be two parties, I, the jailer, and Wolcott. It will proceed, only one will speak at a time. The other time they will have the floor. The only way they may have the floor from the other individual is if the other one yields. Until then, any questions or statements or anything is referred to the person who has the floor. Understood?
Understood.
Good. To yield the floor, for example, Wolcott would say, they yield to the jailer. Or for I would say, I yield to Wolcott.
Oh, you do yield to me, jailer. Oh, I yield to you, jailer.
Yes, that is how this will proceed. Is there any questions before we begin? On the rules or anything of such? If there is a question, hop, skip, and or jump. Proceed.
Yes, thank you, Captain. I would just like making sure for myself and everyone here in the crowd that you yourself, as well as Wolcott, can also yield to perhaps one of us if we have something to say.
Both sides on the floor will give the opportunity for individuals to speak. They will be given the opportunity to speak at the platform that it seems a lot of people have chosen to stand on. So, anyone on this platform, please find some other place to sit. Thank you. How will we do it? Yes, that's what. We'll do it that people, if they are wanting to sit, will be on the forward part of the viewing arena, And if people wish to speak, they can make a line from the right side onwards. Understood? Good. If there is someone I find more interesting, or if it is Wolcott's turn on the floor, if they find more interesting, they may just choose you. But if not, we will proceed as such. Understood? Everyone will be given an opportunity to speak. Yes. This will be on the events, what happened to the breaking of the pact. I don't want accusations, I don't want opinions. I want facts. Understood? Well, I will allow Wolcott their opening statement. I yield the floor to Wolcott.
Oh, the floor is yielded to me. I wish I could walk upon it, but there's a way of things in nature. The forces of nature. Oh, so the timeline, responsibility. Where does it lie? I mean, I know where it lies. Here. Here my pact, what it was, what I was charged with by my lord, what I had to do for him. So, of course, naturally, as every good little warlock does, they accept the fame name. A curse to live on into what could be infinity, and for me it was to rot through all time. And of course I had to give something to the Myers, a second tenant of my pact. Love. I gave up romantic love, platonic love, love for my children, for my husband, for everyone around me. It all rots just like myself. Of course, you guys will do just the same. And of course I had to expand my Lord's Mire. Rot that which stands in our way, which I had. I certainly did. I opened the portal, and I was there to welcome him through the day that he stepped through. But of course, unbeknownst to me, a puffy slithered in that crowd and brought your most rapt attentions to an issue you all thought had to be solved by mortal means. And like the snakes you are, you bit me. I only hope that the proverbial foot crushes the right heads. But of course, after all, my skull is quite rotted. And the fourth tenant, probably the most important tenant. It's a fallen log. I had to let it rot. I think the pact being broken is a fallen log, is it not? And I think we should let it rot, my peers, my friends. Why do not we let it rot together? I didn't make a choice for myself. The days that my pact had been broken. The days that I was assaulted in front of a crowd of you all. I didn't do any of that. I didn't choose my path for me. No. You all did yourselves. At the very least, some of you are more guilty than others, and as the jailer had stated, that is precisely what we are here to do today. To decide who's the guilty party, who is the criminal. I mean, I am done. I am done with my statement, I think. Oh, jailer, you'd like to speak, wouldn't you? Oh, jailer. I yield to the jailer.
I will make something very clear. A pact has been broken. I have made that clear multiple times. And a pact will be answered for this day. Someone will answer for the pact being broken. A pact is the most important bond one can make with their patron or their court. And it being broken is one of the most heinous crimes within the Fae that can occur. Which is why I am trusted with dealing with such individuals. It is not something to be taken lightly, it's not something to be treated lightly. A pact breaker is the most heinous criminal. in the eyes of the Fae. I am granting you this opportunity for you to decide who is guilty. If you can convince me who is guilty, I will choose that. But let it make it clear, I am granting you it. I am the jailer. I do not need a single one of your opinions, but I am allowing it, because you seem to have got attached to Wolcott. So I will allow it. Understood? Well, I guess we will start statements and or questions. I said a line, so it seems you are first.
Thank you.
You may stand fully on the platform.
At the time of the events, I went by a different name and different jobs. One of them that led to me asking questions and investigating the events that occurred that day. As we all know, it very quickly spiraled into an escapade where we were all fighting. However, not everyone's intentions were to break Osten's pact.
Wolcott.
A small group, Wolcott, apologies, pact. A small group acted on their own by the volition of one Pen Bear. He gathered people together, a small group, to break Wolcott's pact. At doing so, at the time, the Lord of Rot perceived a threat to Wolcott, which very much was so, which led to loads of satyrs and other creatures appearing through the portal, leading to everyone else leaping in to fight. The only ones that acted to break the pact that day were Pen Bear and his gang, miscreants.
You say gang of miscreants, who were they?
Quite a few of them have left Kara or gone missing. The only ones I believe are still present would be Sapphire Harvest, Lasley. Yeah, I think the others are all missing.
Anything else you wish to say or ask?
No.
Okay. Next.
He does
I
not
respect
like
the
it.
rules and I will allow you to speak. Proceed.
Ooh, thank you. Thank you so much. I find this all quite interesting. I have been in these lands of Kara for these past few months, and I have heard so many stories. I've heard this tale many, many times. I heard, and from your own volition, Wolcott, it sounds, what was it called? A gang of miscreants broke your pact. I heard, soon after the Lord of Rot arrived, coming to save you. You would know where to be saved. And it has been how long, Wolcott, since these people broke your pact? Have you not tried to go back to your lord?
You are not talking to Wolcott. They do not have the floor. Do you wish me to do so?
Oh,
Is your question referring to I or a statement or to Wolcott?
be more to you. Together, who should be punished? People that forced Wolcott to take that pact. Wolcott, not returning to their benevolent lord, who seemed so worried about them. They were ready to go to war. Interesting.
The next may proceed.
Thank you, Captain. Now, in order for me to fully explain, I would like to add some details that some in this room may not know. May I do so?
You may.
Wolcott, known to some as Osten Creedence, but we will be referring to him as Wolcott here. He was one of the first warlocks of the Lord of Rot, considered to be one of his favorites. Back then, he was considered timid, curious, kind of kept to themselves, had a lot of questions, and was even described as inquisitive. He held events in his library at Wolcott that told stories about how to interact with the Fae, and had books in the library that mentioned about Archfey, Fae etiquette, Fae pacts, and kings of the forest. During this time, he oftentimes had to, unfortunately, ignore his lord in order to teach Kara. However, this doesn't mean that he respected his lord any less than he did. Now, switching to a name that was recently mentioned right here, Penbear, Penbear, in case anyone wants to write it down. Penbear, he is a warlock, not to an archfey as we know, but we don't know who he serves. He appears to have some allegiance to the Winter Court. From my interviews with people who were there, he had not been around long. He comes and goes frequently, is not well known, bit of a stranger, and was last seen helping Thistledown find his granny. Now, I'm not going to elaborate on the granny bit because that is not important. According to the evidence I have gathered, he coordinated the attack on Osten Creedence with a few of the following people. I hope I'm saying this one right. Tatiana Morozov, who is currently deceased for other crimes in the land of Kara, and Dame Sapphire Harvest. Their involvement will be mentioned soon, but for now, let's get on to the attack itself. The attack happened on Wolcott, underneath the house, in front of the Feywild. I'm assuming the portal led to the Feywild, but there was a portal underneath the house that Osten was opening. Wolcott was opening to let the Lord of Rot into Kara. Now, during this time, Sir Declan Domhnall, who was the chief of police at the time, I took this information from his perspective. Now, Pen Bear had heard Osten mention that the Lord of Rot was bringing an army to Kara, and had even said some things that framed the Lord of Rot in not such a good light. Now, one thing I need to mention, by bring an army, he did not mean bring an army in order to invade Kara. Rather, he meant bring an army in order to protect the portal from this exact scenario he found himself in. People coming to attack the Lord of Rot and the portal. He was very worried, in fact, believed that everyone there was ready to attack him. Now, the Pen Bear, after hearing this, shared this with everyone, framing it as he was bringing a very powerful man to Kara in order to take over it, and encouraged people to bring armor and weapons in order to attack. If you have heard the Lord of Rot mention Kara coming to his doorstep with armor and weapons, this is the event he is referring to. After fighting the portal, Sir Declan Domhnall tried to arrest him, cornering him in front of the portal and ready to arrest him. However, Osten, loyal to his lord, finished the portal, and the portal opened, allowing the Lord of Rot to enter. Wolcott, he was ready to welcome his lord. However, that is when Pen Bear and his group struck. Scratch that. After the Lord of Rot first stepped out, he said a few things, and from Declan's perspective, he backed up away from the portal because he believed at the time Osten was a threat. The Lord of Rot was a threat. Sorry, so many names to go around. But which is kind of ironic now that you think of it, considering he is now Lord of Rot, the Lord of Rot's warlock, or one of many. Anyway, as I just mentioned, Fluff Nugget, Pen Bear had given the signal, and his comrades attacked, each doing a specific job that they were assigned to, all in front of the Lord of Rot, though I'm not entirely sure if he witnessed the full on the attack. Each person had one job. Tatiana held his arm still. Sapphire used the nullification stone to prevent him from using his magic. And it is assumed that Penbear took off the ring, because I have not been able to speak to Penbear on account of him being in another plane of another plane, I guess. I have tried to reach out to him to get a witness from him, but I have not been able to. Now, after this, Osten was taken to Penn's tavern, giving him no time to talk to his lord, which explains why he was absent when the Lord of Rot first came through. The Lord of Rot, unsure of what happened, I would assume he assumed that Wolcott had betrayed him. Now, as I mentioned, Wolcott was taken to Penn's tavern, where people came to talk to him, most likely to ask why he did it, stuff like that. And after a little bit, Casimir, if you know who that is, was brought to... Wolcott was brought to Casimir, who gave him a letter and sent him to the Emerald Institute to see if he could find a place there. Unfortunately, he did not meet the recommendation, and therefore was not able to get in. So, rather than go back to the Lord of Rot, he was curious if his family was still around, because before he had made the pact, he had a family, a husband, and some kids. Little did he know that while in the Lord of Rot's service, Wolcott's family aged 3 times slower than he did. 3 times faster than he did. Or I should really say, he aged 3 times slower than they did. When he arrived to his family, his husband was 3 times older than he last remembered. His kids have all gone and did wonderful things. And he had grandkids who only knew him by the altar they had in their home depicting Osten's death. Now, Osten, before leaving, had promised to come and help Kara, which is why he has returned now. He didn't leave in order to escape his own pact. He knew full well that the jailer, aka Captain Delos, was after him according to breaking his pact. Now, I don't know where Penbear is, but I implore everyone to please look at the facts I have presented to you all and see that Wolcott is innocent of of breaking the pact. While he might not be innocent in some things, in regards of breaking his pact, he is innocent. I ask you to recognize the real pact breaker, Penbear, who is currently in a different plane, that of which I do not know, but I know ways people can find out. That is all I have to say. Thank you.
Interesting. I have allowed a few people to speak, and I will, in a second, allow Wolcott, as they may inquire. I yield the floor to Wolcott.
Thank you so much for having the courage to come forward. After all, I ever asked from anyone who ever came here was that I would offer them the truce. I wouldn't offer them a decision, no. I've had enough of people making decisions for me. So the fact that Axo had gone through such painstaking efforts to carefully craft my story for everyone here to hear today, I think is wonderful. I really do. Even got some names. You got the details, even if I could not fully remember. You spoke to other people, didn't you, Axo? After all, you weren't here yourself. How lovely. how much you care. But yes, Hexo is right. I was assaulted in front of half of Kara, in front of my lord, most importantly, is the one who gave me the name Wolcott. I didn't know what I was doing. What was happening to me. That much is true. I guess I yield to the jailer.
Hmm. Yes, the next person may proceed. You are a warlock. What is your name?
You may refer to me as Arkalor.
Proceed.
I would like to request my eyewitness account, though most of what has already been said was spoken by the previous individual.
You may proceed with whatever you are going to say.
It all began on the island of Wolcott. Penn had reached out to the whole of Kara, asking us to bear arms, prepare for the worst, as he believes that Osten here had completed the very task he was sent here to do. He gave us a debrief on the top of the island over by his house before a hole emerged for us, revealing a hidden compartment that I do not believe many people were aware of. I certainly was not. After some discussions amongst each other, people tossing, turning, theorizing on what was to come, Penn took the initiative and told everyone to dive in. We all dove down into this hole, and we landed in some mess, this puddle, in which cushioned our fall. Before us was a giant portal frame, in which is evident was the portal used to summon their lord. Few people were already there, really. Wolcott here was one of them. One other individual, maybe two, struggling to recall the events. It was quite some time ago. But I would believe to say Lazuli was there beside Osten, as well as an individual known as H. Nikolov. We slowly descended down into the cavern and closer to the portal frame, in which Osten addressed all of us, referring to that the research being here, after aiding them for some time, they finally managed to complete the task that they were sent here for, to eventually bring the Lord and his army to Kara. With that said, myself, I donned upon armor. At the time, I wielded the parliamentary mace, held my shield up, and prepared for the worst. Others soon followed, and we started to push Wolcott here against the frame of the portal. I very much wish I could recall what was said afterwards, but I do remember Wolcott saying a few things, and then lingering just over my head, the Lord of Rot emerged from the portal frame. He spoke words, saying that he was proud of Osten, that Wolcott, proud of Wolcott for doing the task he was here for. Then he addressed the crowd. How dare we brand weapons against them. Upon this, I stepped back. This was my first time being in the presence of an archfey. I was only told of fear-mongering stories. Not to trust Fae. Do not be in the presence. If you are in the presence of one, you are to run. I slowly moved myself back away from the portal frame and stood in fear. I didn't know what to do. Upon the Lord addressing and berating most of the crowd, an individual spoke, shouted, in fact, yelled, "Now." 3 individuals I can recall from the events pushed forward and began the assault on Wolcott here. One leading said charge was Penbear, one of the previous individuals mentioned earlier. Another individual that I will dare not speak of, who is now deceased, grabbed Osten by the arms and pulled them back. And the other individual, in which nullified Osten's cries for help, was Sapphire Harvest. A moment, do apologise.
Interesting. Interesting.
Once said effect had done, the last individual that I saw with what remained of Wolcott's ring, the physical representation of Wolcott's pact was in the hands of Penbear. The Lord of Rot was, of course, least happy to hear that their favourite was forcibly removed from them. At the time, he wasn't aware they had been forcibly taken. All they knew is Wolcott was once theirs, and now they're not. Satyrs emerged from the portal, in which all hell broke loose. Crowds were piling upon one another, some trying to rush up the stairs to escape, others trying their best to stay behind and defend the majority of the crowd. The Pact Breakers took the initiative, grabbed Osten, and were the first individuals leading out of the portal and back to the surface of Wolcott. My memory is very hazy after this, since my life was taken this night. Upon defending the majority of Kara, in which I thought was a hostile threat, I was launched to a horde of satyrs, using a very powerful artifact known as the Gravitary Tome. I lost my life. But due to the curse here, all I remember is waking here at the docks, and the last two individuals I saw was an individual that I've mentioned before, being Penbear, with Wolcott here. That is my truth, and that is my story.
When you saw Penbear and Wolcott, were there any other individuals escorting?
As I said before, my memory of such was very hazy, but I do believe a majority of Kara was there on the docks, but I think it was Penn that took the initiative to take Osten himself.
Yeah. Interesting. You are Fae, so I will trust your word. As you know, if you lie, you are no longer worth that word. Thank you. Next, you are a warlock. What is your name? Proceed.
You can refer to me as Maith.
Understood. Proceed.
Okay. I met Wolcott early on, almost right after he stepped off the boat. In time, I grew close to him. I found it a bit odd that he lived so far out and so alone. Over time, we began to grow close, so close, in fact, that I made a promise to him, one that bound me to him. My promise ensured I wouldn't say anything without express permission, but most importantly, that I would stand by him through whatever came next, through the unknown. As we sat around his fireplace, he spoke of his pact and a choice of life or death. As he continued to stay in Kara, I continued to watch him spiral. There was a time that I even sat outside his window because he feared to open the door. I don't doubt the pressure of everything led to this moment. Now we arrive at the day of the incident. Around 5 minutes before we jumped down into the portal room, the portal room that Wolcott had unveiled, I was approached by Penbear. He told me that he had been trying to find me sooner, but that he had a plan. He told me that during this gathering he wanted to remove Wolcott's ring. He had decided that because of my promise to Wolcott, it was guaranteed to work. If it were anyone else, the possibility of failure was greater. I had 5 minutes to decide if I wanted to break a promise and a pact. I told him I couldn't decide on such short notice, that it was too difficult to make then. He then brought the others to me, those involved being Sapphire, Harvest, and someone long dead now. They tried to reassure me that this was something that was being done for the betterment of Wolcott, that he wanted this. But I felt uneasy. Penn had told me how they would use the nullstone amplifiers to render him magicless and weak, and how someone would restrain him while another removed the ring. By the time he had finished explaining the process, it was time for us to jump down. He told me, "All you need to do is shake your head, yes or no." Once we entered the portal room, they all sat closely together. All eyes were on Wolcott. When the time came, Penn looked to me, and I shook my head no. After all, it broke the very promise I made to him. I would be choosing his path for him. So instead, they worked without me. And now we are here, watching Wolcott be imprisoned for a crime that he didn't commit. So, Captain, I urge you to go after the one responsible. Go after Penn, please.
It is interesting. You say one responsible, but there was a group. Interesting. The next may proceed. You're a warlock. You may proceed, but what is your name?
I am referred to as Ebrith.
Proceed.
I wish to keep my statement to you brief, as I know those before me are ones of pact similar to I. Since I was not present for the breaking of Wolcott's pact, I did refer to those that are referred to as family in name, but we have not yet forged that family in bond. I asked them what had happened, namely one of the name Maith. And on multiple accounts, they have openly stated and in near excitement spoke of how they and one Dame Sapphire Harvest helped save and seemed to take upon the burden of their tales that they were the one who broke it, that they were the one who helped save Wolcott, but referred to them as Osten at the time. When being informed of the other warlock, Akalor, it was stated while they did not help force the ring, they were there to help fight against, and there were others amongst this group of many a name. I'm confused by the recent change in song tune, for they spoke so proudly until this moment came to be. I trusted them at their word when they spoke to me and said that they were the primary ones, and of course now I'm not sure what to believe because they spoke of it so proud that they helped save an individual whose consent they took away from them. And now a new song is being sung. That is all I have to say.
Interesting. It is never clear cut. You may proceed. You are done. Thank you. Before I ask the crowd some questions, I guess I must yield the floor to Wolcott.
Really, I would just like to thank every single person who has stepped forward today to speak their truth. After all, I think that there is no honest decision or right decision if you do not know the truth of the matter. I believe that I spy one sapphire harvest. I see you. Perhaps not as well as I could if I were out of this cage. I understand why you may have done the things that you did. I understand that others may have spun tales about me. I understand that others may have made a choice for me. But in that, you made a choice for yourself as well. For me, too. But of course, I am a forgiving person. However, I am a just person just the same. I honestly hope, or I have hoped, that others had never told me the names of my pact breakers. And the very reason behind that, Sapphire, is because, of course, my pact breakers were my betrayers. The honest thing, the honest fact about the situation, is that I've wanted to be better for a long time. In that, of course, I couldn't make myself a hypocrite. I couldn't make the choice for others. Even if I had known that you had assaulted me, Sapphire, I don't think that I would have given your name over to your peers. I'd rather understand the reasons why my betrayers have betrayed me, rather than know who my betrayers are. I yield to the jailer.
Hmm. Interesting. I am going to ask Wolcott a series of questions, and I'm going to yield the floor back to them because I think that is pertinent. Did you had a large opportunity when you were at home? Did you have an opportunity to return to your patron? Did you ever decide that you could have returned, but you didn't want to? I yield the floor to you, Wolcott.
Well, let's do your first part of your question first, and of course I think that I'll answer the second part of your question. So, jailer, I did. There was 5 months between when my pact was broken and when I came up back here in Kara. However, I also think that people need to understand that I had been on the ship for many months. After all, I was coming from Toroma. There weren't many Fey experts on the ships that could ever get me in contact with my lord. There are many people, there weren't many, however, that would even have wanted me to. And, of course, I had a promise of my own to maintain, jailer. I promised people that I would go back and seek out my husband. I didn't ever have the opportunity to to beseech my lord, to go back to him. It wasn't on the table. Mhm. I yield the floor to you, jailer.
Hmm, interesting opinion. Sapphire Harvest. Yes, I would like to hear this one. You may proceed to the central stand. You may speak of what you wish.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Mm.
I believe I'm the only person here from the group that has been being spoken of. So I would like to share my version. No, not my version, but my truth. I'll try and skip and not repeat what's already been said and repeated multiple times now. But we'll say this started about 2-3 weeks before the incident in question. I was approached for the first time in my entire life by Pen Bear, also the only time we ever spoke in private. Um, he asked me to help in freeing someone named Austin, someone I also didn't know and had never spoken to. I'll be honest and say I didn't know anything about Fae or pacts, and I didn't quite know it was a pact we were breaking either. That part was never really communicated. Um, my apologies, Wolcott. Um, Mr. Bear kept repeating that Wolcott was trapped, he needed help, that the essence of what was him had been taken from him. I told him I needed time to think about it and talk to people. He said he understood. He was asking me to use the Nullstone amplifier to help free Wolcott, and that's why I hesitated. The Nullstones are very powerful weapons with a very bloody past. He repeated that without them, he didn't think his plan had much of a chance of succeeding. He told me Wolcott deserved a chance of a free life. I had never, as I said, spoken to Wolcott, so I found Lasley, who is and was one of his friends. Lasley was very distraught. He ended up in Lasley's basement. We were crying. Um, Lasley said that that was Wolcott, but that Wolcott wasn't acting like Wolcott. Something had happened to him. They didn't know how to fix it. I promised Lasley I would do what I could to bring her friend back, and she hugged me. That is when I told Mr. Bear I would help. On the day of the incident, Pen Bear pulled myself and 3 others aside. This included Lasley and an individual who's now gone, Tatiana. Pen Bear then went over the plan in entirety. I was to activate the Nullstone, would help restrain Austin. He would help restrain Wolcott, and Lasley would remove the ring. Lasley expressed that she didn't know if she could do it, so Mr. Bear said if she felt she couldn't, to shake her head no, and Tatiana would remove the ring instead. We went inside with a rather large group, what has been described as half of Kara, and met with Wolcott. Mr. Bear gave the signal after talking, a lot of talking. Before he did, he had looked at Lasley, and Lasley shook her head no. When Pen Bear gave the signal, everything went as according to plan. I used the Nullstone, he restrained Austin, Tatiana removed the ring. The ring then broke into dust at that point, and I assume that's how the pact broke. Then Wolcott and everybody left. We returned to the docks of Stone Bay. Wolcott explained a bit about what had happened with his pact. And then Penbear and Lasley left, and they went to the Iberthil Inn, which Penbear, I believe, owned. A little while later, about an hour, I tracked them down um, to ask questions myself. I asked again, why did Wolcott need to be saved? Penbear said, Wolcott deserved to live again. He deserved to have a life with his family, he deserved to have choices that we all have, and that he was trapped in a pact, and the pact removed all that made him Wolcott. Penbear thanked me for my help. Wolcott did too, but he seemed very disoriented and tired. I have never spoken to Wolcott or Penbear since this incident. I wouldn't have participated in it if wording of it had not been someone being trapped and forced into something.
And with the way Wolcott interacted afterwards at the inn, I assumed that interpretation of events was correct. However, it's quite obvious now that at the time he was incredibly disoriented by what had happened. And I've never said this, Wolcott, but I am very, very sorry to you. I will take responsibility for my part in it, and I have never meant to hurt somebody in that kind of way before in my life.
Hmm. Interesting. You may proceed to the where everyone else is sitting. Thank you. It is interesting so many people conveniently choose the one individual that isn't in these lands anymore. I will make it clear, if Penbear is found guilty, and I go and get him, and I will, for the Fey individuals, what happens if I find out you're lying? You may proceed. You have spoken previously, but you may proceed.
Yes, sorry. I was asked by my friend Daniel to read this because they could not be here. They would like to give their few cents.
What is their full name?
Their full name is Daniel Rose. Alright. Dear the people of Kara, Captain Delos, and everyone else, I am not too good at sharing my words with people, and facades are easily put up for me. I am more of an observer and not a person that goes out of his way to speak. What is on his mind at all times? I have met Osten just a few days ago, and I felt more connected to him than some of the people that I would consider neighbors. He told me about his pact and how it came to be, a sad story of a lover long forgotten. As I think of the pact that Osten had, I should probably replace that with Wolcott had made, and the pact that I was given also by the Lord of Rot, I don't blame him for any deeds that have been done. Osten Creedence did not break his pact. Osten Creedence did not want to break his pact either. Wolcott did not want to break his pact. Time and time again, I have seen evil people come and leave Kara. Some of these people now live among us. They believe that if someone was doing anything that didn't follow their rules, they deserved to be dead or worse. I was a victim to that. Letters in the mailbox of people watching me and wanting to do me and my family at the time harm. People gave me disappointed looks or even just glaring at me for sitting on a tree. If I had to do anything to do differently, I would have gone and talked to Wolcott longer and way earlier than I have. The short time I would have sat with him, he was the nicest and most caring person I have seen come off the boat at Stone Bay. I couldn't make it to the court today for the time being a weird concept indeed. I want you to know, Wolcott, keep your chin up, like you have told me. You asked me to talk about my pact and why I decided against it and said no. I had what his lordship was offering me. I have my family that I wanted for so long. It's not the best, and we do fight, but I wouldn't ask for any other. That is why I said no to him. That is why I simply could not give up my loneliness. It's the only thing that I allow myself to feel, and I'm happy to do so. One day, if not in another life or time, I want you to know what love feels like. I want you to see the world and not be blinded by obstacles. You deserve to see it. You, my friend, deserve to feel love and to be loved. Thank you. Daniel Rose, R.S.
Interesting. Two ways of going about this. Wolcott is innocent, and most of you seem this group or was orchestrated by this pen bear. Or did Wolcott truly not want their pact broken? They had quite a long time to return. They say they couldn't, but now they can lie. Interesting. Before I ask the next, I yield the floor to Wolcott.
Oh, you're making me use Wolcott. I am still bound by that name. It is my name. It was given to me by my lord. A lie, regardless of my choices, I believe, would minimize what little autonomy you have granted me, jailer. What is honesty? Right. Honesty confines you to the choices that have been made for you. Honesty is what I have in absence of autonomy. I have been forthright with very personal details of my life. I have been forthright with precisely the moment in which my pact had been made. And I have tried my absolute hardest to maintain a level of honesty, jailer, as not let my truce be dissuaded by the truce and lies and slander of others. But as a simple fact that they had done that to me. I'll make hypocrites out of other people, but not the hypocrite of myself. I yield the floor to you, jailer.
Interesting. Who is next? Yes. Has your patron granted you a name?
Oh, but they have given me a job title.
What
Is
is
that
that title?
the page of the moonlit?
You may proceed. Speak what you wish.
So, like many people who spoke before me, I was there when the pact was broken. I was in the portal room on the mire in Orlon. I remember very vividly a few people sitting closer to Wolcott, those being Dame Lazuli Malahide, Dame Sapphire Harvest, and the last person I will not mention. Sir Penbear was in the crowd with us. All I could hear before I got pushed around in the confusion of what happened was Pen saying now, and then the shattering of magic as the null stone activated. I was one of the last to leave the island. I left with a message from the Lord of Rock. It was a simple message. Who took my Wolcott? Who took my Wolcott away? So I went to the dock where they were gathered, and I gave the message. Pen Bear told me they freed Wolcott, and I looked behind him, saw a distraught maid, also known as Dame Lazuli Malahide, and a very proud-looking Dame Sapphire Harvest. It was after when I heard it was Pen Bear and Dame Harvest, and the last one I will not name. That is all I remember from my experience the day the pact broke.
Understood. Next.
Um, I stand here just to speak on the servitude that Wolcott has had towards his lord, well, his previous lord. Wolcott had spent decades carrying out missions led by the Lord of Rot, and his final one, before his pact was so egregiously taken from him as he was assaulted, was to open a path, to unveil the mist surrounding Kara. That is what he told us when he first arrived, and even to the final to the final end, he carried it out. The Lord of Rot emerged through the portal, and Wolcott was successful. but was it really success when he couldn't really celebrate because all he could think about was the pact that was taken from him, that the promise that he essentially lost due to the decisions of others. Wolcott had spent decades in servitude. Years even. It's once pact had been severed, he decided to leave, maybe to find new purpose, maybe to rethink what had happened. It's really hard to tell. But can I can speak of a story that he told us when he came back
That is not required.
to one of his.
You said
Right.
important wording there. He decided to leave. Interesting. He chose to leave. Thank you very much. Interesting. Interesting. Does anyone else wish to point out any points of information that may have been missed? Anything that should have been spoken? You may come where everyone else has stood, and you may. No? Before I do my closing statement, I will give Wolcott an opportunity to ask any of you questions, or if he wishes to point out any bits of information before their closing statements. Wolcott, I will do mine, then you will do yours. Wolcott, I yield the floor to you.
I'm asking questions, or you just want me to? I yield the floor to you, jailer.
I think I should make it more clear then. You may ask the people questions, Wolcott. Then you will yield to me. I will do my closing statement. You will do yours. I yield the floor to you, Wolcott.
Oh, okay. Uh, uh, okay. I see plenty of people before me. I see people that I've spent a lot of time speaking with in the past few days since I have been jailed. A lot of you have heard my story. A lot of you actually were there yesterday night, where I got to speak of the details of information that could help you guys. I um uh another.
Yes, I am here. Wolcott.
What did you mean by saying that I had decided to leave? I didn't decide to leave. I didn't.
It's, I misspoke. You were left with no choice. Only thing that you could do is leave. That's just collateral. The collective choices that were made for you led to that. My wording, I apologize. I acknowledge, but like I said, you spent decades in servitude, and what had been left was that, right? I hope it clears it up at the very least.
Mhm, mhm. Thank you. Another. Um, there's the Meldor I spoke to this evening or previously evening. Um, what was the word that you used to describe the jailer's justice? The phrase, the pound of flesh, the pound of flesh. What did I tell you about the jailer's sense of justice, about the crime and the criminal?
But it didn't matter who the criminal is. Rather, the crime is what he is punishing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That the crime must be punished and the criminal is only preferable. After all, the jailer has norms to maintain. Oh goodness. Oh, a barium. I see you. I see you back there. Uh, what did I tell you about your name? The nature of your name?
Nature of my name?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, it was that. Oh dear. That I would live past everyone. Friends, family, as you found yourself.
Mm-hmm. And did the jailer tell you about the nature of your name, Oberium?
Yes.
How delightful. Hmm. I see some of you crying in the audience. Um, hmm. Karen, what was the stories that you shared with me that one day? What was a parallel in the stories that you shared me?
The parallel.
Mm-hmm.
The little girl on top of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
She believed that it was her fate to take the blame.
Thank you for your story, Darren. I really did enjoy it, and I did see the parallels. What is Hyro? Hyro Aeschylus? That little ram.
Hello.
Could you give a little jump? It's really hard to see. Oh, Hyro, Hyro. We started out by not really liking one another. I have two questions for you. What was one of the first things that you had said to me when you had learned that I was a warlock? About the nature of me acquiring my magic, Hyro.
I thought packs were the easy way of getting magic.
Mm-hmm. And what was the phrase that the other nights that you had come to trying to teach me magic? What was the phrase that you had agreed with? Living is harder.
Dying is easy.
And what was the other choice that I had to make? Had I not wanted to take the pact with the Lord of Rot?
Would have been death.
And so, what kind of choice did I make, Hyro?
You chose to live.
I chose the harder choice. I will speak to my betrayers and I'll ask them a question. The people that had sold me out to the captain, that had told me precisely where I was being hidden. They do not have to reveal themselves. I've given them the option to. But I'd like to know why my betrayers had betrayed me. I'd like them to enumerate for the court here today. Why?
The captain posted
Could you
that
identify?
anyone. I am Safiri.
Zephyri, which is your surname?
Domno.
Proceed.
The captain stated that anyone found harboring you were going to be dealt with. I did not betray you because I think ill of you. I turned you over to protect my family and protect the residents of Wildridge. In all honesty, I was scared of what the captain was to do.
Mhm. I understand fear. I really do. I mean, I don't understand love, of course. I understand fear. I understand instinct. I understand wanting to protect your own, even if I do not feel love. Where is Axel? You're the one that helped me probably the most. Delivering letters, bargaining with people. I'd like Axel, could you tell the crowd why you had helped me?
Well, for my short time being here in Kara, I've always been a curious type. I've heard stories of you and how you've. Well, I just heard stories of you. I'll be honest, at first, I only helped you because I wanted to learn more about you. But then, as time went on, I began to see a bit of myself in you. Curious, always wanting to help any way they can. And also because you're also interested in finding the truth through all this. And I guess, I don't know, I was also, I don't know, you're just a good person. Despite all the times you've tried to dissuade me or other people otherwise, you are a good person. You did not break this pact. Even if you think that you're innocent, I know for a fact, even though if you think you're not innocent, I know for a fact that you are. You may not be innocent in all ways. By that I mean, like, no one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. But in the pact breaking, I know for a fact you are innocent. And for those who did break the pact, I know for a fact the ones here were not the one who orchestrated it. And sorry, I'm rambling. But point is, I helped you because, well, you're my friend now. And I care about you.
Thank you, Axel, for everything that you have done.
Thank you for being there with me.
I hope that, despite everything that might be to come, Axel, I hope that others will treat you as warmly as I try to treat you. After all, you are hopefully going to be regarded as a hero who tried to preserve information.
I hope so.
I missed something.
Fluff.
Can you say it again?
I saw another hand raise.
It was me, Wolcott.
Ibris?
Yes. My sister here was able to provide their reasoning, and, well, I cannot say I did it for the same reasons they did, but in a similar manner of fashion. I was involved in the situation rather abrupt and suddenly. And through experience with you and with the others who wish to harbor you, I went out one night and I spent time with those I held close, shoveling snow, making a game out of it, and then as I walked back to my home, I looked at all of Kara, the people in it. The choice I made to turn you in was not one for selfish reason. I did not give a care for the wish. I cared for those that walked the streets every day, for those that lay their heads to bed at night. Because while it is a confusing and sometimes damned place, Kara is where I've decided to make my home. And Kara is why I made the choice I did.
Thank you, Ibris. Thank you. Genuinely. I yield support to you, jailer.
Wolcott.
It is interesting. I have heard in the past of the Lord of Rot and his first warlock. Such, what was the word? Manipulator. Quite effective. I am not going to sway you in either way. I will point out the facts that have been given, and then Wolcott will have their closing statement, and then you will choose. I will get an answer today. The pact will be answered today. What was the term Wolcott used? I will get my pound of flesh today. There is two main thoughts that seem to have been pushed during this trial. Either the main cause was Penbear. He orchestrated this group of people who decided to break this pact with the use of items and such. Or one that does not seem to have been latched onto so much, maybe because of that manipulation. That maybe maybe Wolcott didn't break that pact. Maybe they... Maybe Wolcott wanted to be Osten. I yield the floor to you, Wolcott.
I laid out the facts of the pact breaking rather plainly. I told people what I felt, what I could barely see, the hollowness. Everything that I had ever worked for over the course of a lifetime ripped away in an instant because of choice others had made for me. I hope that Kara understands this pain as much as I do. Kara has had plenty of people to make choices for them. Which is precisely why I asked Kara to plead me that I am innocent. I had expressly stated, leading up to the trial, that I had not wanted to know the names of my pact breakers until the trial had dawned. There's a simple fact that I know of myself to be a vindictive, cruel, and manipulative person. Every single time somebody had given me or tried to give me a name, I refused to hear it. And it is for the simple fact that I did not want to be the one to point the fingers. Kara had to be the one to guide the hand, to point the fingers themselves. After all, that is the decision for Kara, a decision of their own. A decision that I had not the chance to make for myself. Kara, you have the truth. You have pieces of the truth, the puzzles. You have your peers, your friends, who stood before you, your family, your neighbors, who told you why they did the things that they did to me. And I only hope, that from whatever truths you guys had gathered here today, so that you make a decision that is ultimately based on the facts and nothing but the facts. I know that I am innocent at the end of the day. I know that I did not plead for my pact to be broken. I only hope to help Kara. The captain wants his pound of flesh now. There will be another, greater and more sinister target that wants their pound of flesh later. My promise to Kara is that should I be able to walk free, I'll make sure that it is not the pound of Karan flesh. Not without reason. As such, whatever the trial is, the more summative trial, I promise Kara that I will step forth, submit myself as a sacrificial piece upon a player of their game, the granny's game. After all, should Kara make a decision that sets me free, it's the only way that I will be able to reciprocate such loss of autonomy. Will be to step up myself. Pound the flesh, either now or later, either my own or the right criminal. I yield to you, the jailer.
Now, as I said, you will get to choose. We will have 2 votes. The first will be who is guilty. This group, orchestrated by Penbear, as you say, or Osten, as he so likes to call himself, but he will always be Wolcott. What is the choice? Is it Wolcott, or is it this Penbear and his group? The left side, where I'm floating now, can be for voting for Penbear and his group. And then the right side of the podium would be for deciding that Wolcott is the one that broke their pact. I will give you all a chance to move.
Would you perhaps demonstrate this again, Captain?
Yes. The left side, where majority of the people are currently gathered, will be voting for Penbear and his group. And then the right will be for if Wolcott is. After this vote, we will then decide which of Penbear's group should be chosen. As I said, I need my pound of flesh. If anyone wishes to abstain, you may go under the platform. Here. Under the platform, where Mork is, yes. If you wish to not choose.
Captain,
Yes,
a question.
you may proceed.
Whomst exactly are you including in this group of Penbear?
There has only been 2 that are mentioned that are currently alive. Penbear and Sapphire Harvest. Those are the 2 that we mentioned that were in the group, correct?
Very well. Thank you very much for answering.
Well, it seems only one person thinks Wolcott is the one that is the criminal, the pact breaker. But it seems the group involving Penbear thinks this. Interesting. Interesting. Now, you must decide Penbear or Sapphire Harvest. As I said, I will get a pound of flesh this day. You choose what that is. The left side will be Penbear again, and the right will be Sapphire Harvest. If they choose Penbear, what must I do? Wolcott?
The vote is who is guilty, yes?
Who is the one answering the pact? I will make it clear. I will get my pound of flesh. This Penbear might take some time, so until then I may need another to take its place.
Captain.
Hmm.
So can you clarify what you just said?
Yes.
So, is it preferred that the person that you want to be here in Kara?
The person who answers the pact for this day is in Kara, in this room. It is up to you who you choose. If I have to go find Penbear, someone else will take its place. I know a lord that is missing their Wolcott. They will not be
I want to clarify for the people in the room. Penbear is not in Kara, and Sapphire Harvest is. So today, he might choose somebody else entirely out of those two.
No.
So choose wisely, given who is here.
I don't think that's the part I'm confused about.
That ain't a choice.
I will make it clear then. If you choose Penbear, Wolcott will be taken back to their patron. As a placeholder. As someone must give this pound of flesh this day. Yes? If everything was up to me, Wolcott would come to my fighting pits. Yes? That's what would happen.
And Sapphire is just as guilty as Pen is. Want to remind that to all of you.
I will make it clear the decision you are making. If Sapphire is chosen, they will go to my fighting pits. We do not need the rule of the court anymore, Wolcott. Tell them the stories of my fighting pits. Make them realize the choice
Could you
they are making.
clarify which side is for which?
Left will be Penbear, right will be Sapphire Harvest. Wolcott, we do not need to follow the rules of the court anymore. That is done. Tell the people what happens if someone goes to my fighting pits. Yes?
There's a fighting pits. There's so many horror stories. Of course, if you had spent any amount of time in the past screen or the shadow mirror, you hear of the fighting pits. You hear the blood. You hear of the perpetual fighting. You hear of the soul breaking. You hear of how the captain makes his crew. You hear that from the fighting pits. Of course, you have to fight over and over and over and over again. Never dying, of course. The captain is a man who preserves spring. He's a fae who preserves spring, who preserves life. And from the fighting pits, he takes the victor, one victor, to turn into a crew mate.
Yes, that makes it clear. Whoever goes into my fighting pits, their will, their soul, is broken down. Over and over, so then they can be ready for true new growth. Understood the decision you are making? Good. The left.
Sapphire or pen. It is either sapphire or pen. Sapphire or pen.
The left side will be Pen, where I'm floating now, where I'm flying now, will be if you decide for me to get Pen. I will find Pen. Then, it is up to the Lord of Rot to decide what happens to their Wolcott.
May I speak to those who are abstaining?
You may.
To abstain is to condemn them both. You must choose.
Delos, I have a question.
Please.
Who is the one that wishes to speak?
Me.
Proceed.
Why can we not choose both?
You want both?
I am just asking why.
Okay.
You are asking for two sacrifices for the price of one.
I am asking
You
why.
will be a judge one day, but no, please, no.
Let them
They're
speak.
both guilty.
Let them speak. Proceed.
I'm asking why you are giving us a decision between one or the other instead of both.
I only require one for the act of pact breaking. One pact has been broken. That requires, I like the term, 1 pound of flesh. It requires one person to take their place, to go to the fighting pits. It does not require two. So I will only require one. Understood?
Yes, thank you.
Jailer, can you tell them what side is Pen, which side is Sapphire?
The left side with Oberium, I believe Bridget Maldor, what was their name? That is the side of Penbear. I will go find Penbear
Oh, so
eventually.
this is the... Oh.
Yes, the side you're on is Penbear. Yes? And then the middle is if you wish to abstain. Ezran's words are quite apt. The right side is if you wish for Sapphire Harvest. And again, I will make it clear. If you choose Penbear, I will take them to their previous lord, their previous patron. They seem to want to keep that pact so much, I think they will enjoy it again. Eventually. If you choose the right side, I will take Sapphire Harvest to my fighting pits, where they will be broken over and over and over. I ask you all, can you live with that choice? Can you live with condemning someone in such a way?
Excuse me, Captain. May I ask one more question?
Who is the one who wishes to speak?
Axo, over here.
You may.
It's actually directed at Wolcott, if I may ask
Yes,
him.
there is the courts of the rules of the court have been finished, so you may.
Wolcott, do you want to go back to the Lord of Rot?
I served my lord for a lifetime. I committed many achievements underneath him. Yes, in some way, shape, or form.
I see. Thank you.
But interesting. If you wish to abstain, to make it clearer, leave the arena. Just go out the back entrance, please, as I do not want confusion. If you are voting, you shouldn't be in the arena. Yes. Let Wolcott's statement influence what they just said. They said part of them wishes to join their lord again. That is what I'll grant. Aye, what happens to them when they are with their lord is not up to me. There will be a placeholder once I receive Penbear and determine if they are responsible and that no one has lied here. Then the Lord of Rot will be made aware and he can decide for himself what he does with his Wolcott. Understood? Is there any more confusion or questions before we proceed?
I just wanted to state that to Wolcott, you told me when we spoke privately that you would rather die than serve another again. Does that still stand true?
I would rather die than fall to the jailer.
Understood.
But of course, dead things rot, don't they, Ibris?
Everything does.
Jailer, can I ask a question of you?
You may.
So, I apologize if you've already specified and said this. If the vote is even, what will you do?
I will decide.
All right.
I am the jailer. I have given you this opportunity to choose. The word given is the important word. I do not have to. I could have taken Wolcott immediately, but I decided otherwise. Interesting. I thought you, detestable creature, would find this quite interesting.
Oh, it's very, very interesting, let me tell you that. But I thought not of Kara. It'd be wrong to choose. I think Wolcott's guilty regardless.
Interesting. Well, any last abstainers or ones wish to switch? Again, the left is Penbear, the right is Sapphire Harvest. If Penbear is chosen, Osten, as you wish to call him, but is Wolcott, will go to their previous patron, in whatever way that patron wishes to choose, until I find my true pound of flesh, this Penbear. No one else wishes outside to vote? None of you wish? No?
Oh, there's quite a few of them.
Yes. So many willing to condemn someone they know. Interesting. Well, I will count.
Yes, I don't think any of them could have the same reasoning I do, so I'm just curious.
What
You
is your
would
reason?
rather. You would. Oh.
Easy.
What is your reason?
It's very simple, Captain. I'm not of Kara. I was not here. Why should I vote?
But so many are. So many are of Kara. But yet they choose not to. Again, Ezrin's words seem quite apt. The people out there could sway this vote in whichever way they wish, but they will not. I will count. I will give one last chance for moving. Does anyone have any last questions? Because I will not have confusion after the vote has been counted. I have made myself clear. Understood. 21 on this side.
Your Majesty.
Hello, Declan.
See.
Oh shit, am I voting on something? I guess not.
Yes, go outside of the arena, Your Majesty, if you're not going to vote.
Oh yes. Well.
23
Your
for
Majesty.
Sapphire Harvest. Interesting. It seems you are lucky, Wolcott. Seems you manipulated them quite effectively.
What was the number for Pen?
21. So close. Where is Sapphire Harvest? Have they ran?
Dame Harvest has ascended into the astral plane for the time being, so that she may take a rest. I do not know if she will be back at a later time.
I require my... There is no one else here, Wolcott. It seems they have...
I'll take his place until she comes back.
Who is speaking?
I am.
I'll let him go back.
I'm jumping
to his
down.
lord.
I'm right down here. Look straight down. Hi.
You will take their place. You will take their place. They must come and... If not, you are aware what happens.
Yes.
You are aware.
I am aware. I am ready. If they do not come, I will take the punishment. I am aware of the fighting pits. But I cannot stand while innocent people are accused for something they did not do. Osten included. Osten is his name to me.
Admirable. Well, I will ask one thing. Wolcott, which would you rather have? Return to your lord, or your new friend comes with me?
I told him from the beginning. I told him, jailer. I told him that I don't feel love. I told him that it is not even platonic love, that I could never reciprocate, wanting to ever be their friend. And I told him also that I am a vindictive, manipulative, conniving bastard. And yet they still helped me. That is Exo's choice.
Yes.
If this is the way that they want to help me, jailer.
Understood. Well, it seems those vines are no longer needed. Those will recede. You are free, Wolcott. You'll be fine.
I don't care if you don't feel.
Sir Declan, please take Osten into custody. Please take Osten into protective custody, please, Inspector. Now.
Osten Creedence, only, please.
Wait,
Exo.
real quick. I have fireworks in my under chest.
You will have the same terms as Wolcott had. You are not allowed to leave this archipelago. There are vines upon your body that will stop such a thing. Until the true guilty comes and answers for it. If they do not, within how much time? 24 hours, you are mine.
I understand. Can I have one request first?
What is that request?
In my inner chest there are fireworks and a bunch of crossbows. I would like them to be fired in honor of Osten's freedom.
You are free to roam across the archipelago. You may... Oh yes, you cannot open things within my archipelago. I always forget. Place it here.
You know.
I'm not aware how these ender chests work. Can you open them now? There you are.
Yes.
You may use anything within that. That was quite a choice. I will make a post to make it clear what has happened upon this day.
Here, can someone take these and pass them around to people? One for each. One firework?
Exo, for your valiant effort, I will give 48 hours. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. It's done. You may all leave. If you wish, you may stay as well, but you may also... Anyone may come down and talk to Exo. They now have 48 hours on the archipelago.
If anything happens to me, guys, don't forget me.
So, what was I saying? What about the insider?
I know for a fact that there are a lot of people who would be open to run it for me. Where's Cass? I know she always liked the shop. I leave it to her if I do not come back. I'll be honest, this was my entire plan if anything happened, because I know Osten will be able to do more than I can for Kara. Just don't forget me. Thank you. Whoever. Well, I guess I should go see myself to Austin's campsite now, because now that's mine. Can you tell Danny that I read his letter? Here's his letter to get back to him. Quiet, please. I'm in a role play.
Not too late.
Hey. Thank you. There's water here. I know that the oceans can still reach me here. I know that the oceans can still reach me here. I know Sanakwas is looking out after me, even if she sleeps. I know I'll be fine. Can someone tell Exarch Malahide what happened? I don't want her to think I've abandoned her.
It's a weekend!
Oh, I didn't realize you couldn't hear me. I'm sorry. Oh, fluff.
If you need to pass along a letter to Wolcott, I'm sure I can at least.
I don't have a book and quill on me right now, which is odd. Oh wait, no, I do. Yay. I came prepared.
You don't have to do it right now. I can come back later. If Osten is in protective custody right now, I might be able to give him something. I will ask the inspector.
I hope if I do come back, I know I probably won't be the same, but just know that I don't regret this.
I will tell Mother. I think it's best if I tell her. I will urge her to come visit you here.
If you could, tell Exarch Malahide what I did. I don't want her to think that I abandoned her.
Of course not. I will. I'm sure I will see her soon. I will tell her.
Also, I have some foxes in my house, if you could feed them while I'm gone. I don't know.
Of course. Which street do you live?
Number 2 Horse Road. Soleil.
Alright. Yes, I know it's Soleil. And when you come back, when you come back, come for tea to the palace, alright?
What?
Good.
Sorry, my ears are not as... are kind of funny right now.
It's alright. I can talk a bit clearer if you want.
Alright.
Thank you. Again.
No problem. Safe travels.
Of course.
You know, in all honesty, the vines will make sure I'm not alone, so that's something. You know, I might just name them.
I'm so calm about this.
It's the beauty of thinking positive. It helps you not lose your mind, which is more than I can say for what happened to Osten a little bit, but I know he'll help you guys out more than I. Hey, Demonis. How you doing, Goofy Goober?
Menace is not feeling well.
I can understand that. I just want to let you know that I enjoyed getting to know you. If you could tell both your sister and, well, I guess aunt, the rest of your family that I won't forget them, that would mean the world to me.
Menace knows Father Shiny Uray will miss you.
Yeah. Would anyone like to come see my house? It's been spruced up a little bit, probably. Yes, no, maybe so.
Yes.
Axel, I will have to go back to Sully, but
That's okay, I understand.
here, this is only one of the sketches I did, not the actual painting. I made a painting for Osten when he was up here, because we talked about Sully quite a bit.
It's so beautiful.
I know you will be back soon, but it's always good to have a piece of home.
Yeah.
Alright, Alexandrite, we're going. Farewell. We'll see each other again.
Yeah. If you guys would like, I have the papers that I prepared for Austin's case if anyone wants to look over them. Here.
Oh, thank you.
I know we've only spoken maybe once, but just so you're not alone.
I love plushies.
Just so you're not alone, and we know you'll be coming back, so take good care of them for me. Their name's Nova.
Nova. I'll cherish it. Thank you. Well, I'm gonna go get settled into my house now.
Before you
Thank
go,
you.
Axel,
Yes. Yeah?
though we have only met shortly, I do also have something for you to keep.
Oh?
I have to tell you, you are the most honorable person I have met in Kara until now. I wish to give you this that was given to me when I came to Kara on that ship. It's also a plush. His name's Galileo.
Oh, I love plushies so much. Thank you.
And you better come back to give it to me. That's a promise, huh?
That's a promise.
I wouldn't expect
Yeah, we know you're gonna be coming back. We know you're gonna be coming back, so you better give them back to us.
Will do.
And you're more than welcome to come by Brayla when this is all finished. I'll be sure to brew up something for you.
And you're also more than welcome to stop by Etheria as well. We'll brew something up for you.
Alright. I love Etheria. Those were my first places I wandered to.
Etheria is lovely.
Yeah.
I say we
I'll
hold a
save
party
your
for you
seat.
once you're back.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
You better
Yeah,
come back or else the food's gonna go to waste.
Will do. Well, see if I can find a quick but safe way back to my campsite. I think I need to lay down a little bit.
Don't you want to come watch the fireworks before we do?
Oh, that's right. I kind of forgot about that.
Still have them on me?
Yeah. I'd do it outside so we don't hurt the tree.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. Shall we then?
Always a smart idea.
Yeah. What's fun is Osten and I, when he first was on this place, we fired fireworks together. That's how I learned how much he liked fireworks.
Alright, everybody who has a crossbow with them, step over here. You ready for this?
Ready.
Fire!
Go nuts.
Fire!
Could I fire one?
Let's fire.
Anyone
Bravest
else
of
wants-
dice.
I still have more crossbows on. Damon, you can fire.
Ooh, that one was one of my special ones. Yeah, pass the fireworks around. There's a creeper-shaped one, somewhere. Yes, Childress?
I believe those were all that were in my possession.
That's...
If anyone else has any to fire. I'm going to give these back to you.
Huh? Oh, they actually belong in the Stone Bay Arena, if you could put them back.
Oh, really?
I borrowed them. Hey, Felix.
Do me one favor.
Yeah?
Before I... You keep your head up high and don't let any of those bastards pull you down, alright?
Alright.
And I expect Galileo back or you're gonna have issues with me. I'll follow you in the afterlife, don't think I won't.
I'd like to see you try. I'm a sneaky little muffin.
Sure, whatever you say. Farewell, Axel.
Farewell.
Keep yourself safe.
Will do. Cannonball off that island for me. I can't do it, otherwise I'll be, become Axo Spaghetti. You know, I wonder if I could swing with these vines. Just, like, find a safe place to hang and just back and forth.
Knowledgeable. Manas has name for thee.
Has what?
Manas has name for thee.
Name? What is it?
Manas gives name Knowledgeable Uga.
Knowledgeable Uga? I like it. Knowledgeable Uga. Has a bit of a ring, doesn't it? I like it.
Manas knows President wanted to say something.
What? Oh. Dark friend!
Hello. Oh.
Thank you.
Present wanted to say present size much in knowledgeable Ugo, and present knows knowledgeable Ugo get free. Present
Aw.
wishes knowledgeable Ugo much luck.
Thank you.
That's much oh. Alasia's present back.
Childresses. Oh, you want it back? Sorry. Oh. He gave me one last hug.
Sorry. Here you go.
You're a good person, Childress. Despite your rough exterior. Keep your 3 hooligans safe for me, will ya? Alright, well, I'm gonna go get settled.
I just wanted to say real quick. You're really brave. You did mention that you're not a fighter, but you are very strong. Like, you're very, very strong and very brave. As in very knowledgeable individual. You're very willful, and as much as your sacrifice, you know, I don't know if it could be a sacrifice, but we just really appreciate the amount of help that you gave to Austin, and I give you the best of luck. I did not talk to you that much, and I'm sorry that I did not get to talk to you as much as I could, but
okay.
I really hope that you do okay, and I give you all the best of luck. And yeah, it's really hard for me to say stuff.
If you'd like, you can write it. I know writing helps me feel better.
I got a book here. I'll see if I can write you sometime.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can set up a mailbox. What address this is gonna be? Archipelago, prison of Axolotl. Well, not prison. Actually, if all in all, it's a really pretty place. If you just squint past some stuff, it's really, really pretty. And there's a hot springs. Have you guys seen the hot springs?
I did walk around here a bit ago.
Yeah, I have my own personal hot springs now. This is awesome.
If you ever need to bring any letters to loved ones who weren't here today, I would be happy to send them out for you.
Alright. I don't have any extra book and quills, so you might need to get some if you can. If you need to buy some, I have some silver in my ender chest, but can't really get the pickaxes myself, so it's limited.
I can buy them for you if on me.
Same hat!
But don't worry, the book and quills, they're on me.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
If you like, I could either see if I can get the books tonight or see if I could meet up with you tomorrow and help let you write down some and I can deliver them to you.
Alright. Yeah. That'd be good.
Alright.
Oh, Fluff! My taxes! I haven't paid my taxes yet! You think they'll forgive me?
I guess I should be on my way now. But I give you the best of luck.
Thank you. Keep positive for me, will ya? Can't be the only one doing it.
I'll do my best. I'll always. I'm always gonna keep everyone safe.
That's good to hear.
All right.
Anyway.
Yamones has last question.
Yeah?
Yamones questions what he dreams of.
What I dream of?
Hmm.
Probably a ginormous library filled with every book I could ever want. That's what I dream of all the time. Also,
Yamones questions.
go ahead.
Yamones questions other type of dream. Deep dream.
I don't know. I'm I'm tired, man. That took a lot out of me. Here, I actually have a gift for you. Mashed potatoes. I picked it up on my way here.
Yamones thanks me.
No problem. Alright. Well, take care, Demones. I'm gonna be shuffling my way. That's lightning. I'm gonna be shuffling my way. Sorry, I was just so close. I'm gonna head back home. Well, home's that way now, I guess, but yeah.
Yamones wishes you much luck, peace, and happiness.
Well, alright, thank you. I hope to receive those.
Yamones knows we will receive it.
Yeah. Bye.